Being born though, like, is there a stash of souls? And whenever a new person is born, like one person from that cache of souls just comes
Like a
down to
gumball
earth
machine.
like a
I can
gumball
imagine it.
machine, but it's sperm.
Yes.
Like, is it sperm? There we go. Hello, Angeline, Pascual. Welcome to the Meaning of Life podcast, the first episode. So, Ange, can you tell me something about Can you tell us something about yourself? Like, who are you?
Okay, hi, I'm Ange. What can I say about myself? I am a graduate of De La Salle University. I took up entrepreneurship and I graduated last June. So it's been a year already. I actually worked as a relationship manager in an e-commerce company before, but I'm looking for a new job now and I've been through some interviews, but I haven't really gotten a new like opportunity yet. And aside from that, I also upload some beauty videos on YouTube. I have some reviews up. If you're ever interested, you can just search Angeline Pascual and I'll be the first one there.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Out of all Angeline Pascuals, you're the first Angeline Pascual out
Yes.
in YouTube. How's
It's an
ano? How's
honor.
it's a great honor. It's the best honor. So, kamusta naman? How was like 1 year of 1 year of postgraduate life? How is it going?
It's fine considering, the situation now. You really when you graduate you really won't know what you're doing at first because they don't really teach you that. So yeah, wala, you just I think for me I've been through a lot of different phases because the job that I got I didn't really like it wasn't something I was passionate about, and then 10 months into it I decided to resign and look for a better fitting job for me. So there's that. I know a lot of other people have different kinds of experiences, but that's how it goes for me.
Wait, if you were like to decide, what subjects would you incorporate in college or in education that would lead you to knowing more about how to live life post graduation?
Subjects?
Yeah, because everyone always says that, diba? Like, they don't teach
Yeah.
you what you need to know in high school to be prepared for college, and they don't teach you what you need to know in college to be prepared for life. But
Mm-hmm.
what should you teach? What should we teach, like,
Oh,
students?
Okay, I think for me, honestly, the most hassle part of postgraduate is getting everything ready, like your requirements, opening bank accounts,
Hmm.
opening, getting IDs and all that. I think in what's that class we had? Persef,
Hmm.
Persef, Persef, whatever.
Persef.
Yeah,
Persef
there should
is what's it about
personal
again?
effectiveness. It's like Persef theory is job interviews, right?
Mm-hmm.
So aside from that, I think they should also teach us how to like get everything like SSS and everything else because super hassle, like all of the information is all over the place. So if universities could give us like a simple way of um like an info packet or something as simple as that would really be a
An
big help.
info packet.
Yeah.
Actually, I think that would be very helpful.
Yeah.
Actually, paano kunyari yung orgs yung gumawa nun? Info packet for graduating people.
Yes.
Hmm? Very, very helpful.
Yes.
Very helpful
An idea.
for a low price of 50 pesos. Ganon.
What? Bakit may price?
Pinirahan pa pala. So, paano mo? Like, how did you figure it out? Did kapa-kapa lang ba? Or what?
Yeah, mostly because I also asked from my other friends who already graduated, but processes are always changing, so experiences will always vary. And aside from the technicalities of getting all of those requirements, um knowing if a job is right for you is also a very different thing because you
Mm-hmm.
won't really know unless you experience it. So ayun.
So how do you know when a job is right for you? Like when do you know it and how do you know it? Is it just
For
like
me,
destiny?
honestly, well, for me, in my experience, because in my first week of my job, I knew I was not gonna last because it just wasn't my thing. Like they bombarded me with so much information, which is actually essential. It's like the core of the whole experience. Like everything will depend on those. They taught me Excel, which is actually a life skill for anyone to learn. But then aside from that, that's all I actually learned from them, and I wasn't feeling like I was growing in my position, and they didn't give me much opportunity to like branch out and learn the different types of, or I mean the different like areas of e-commerce. So mostly I just felt like I was a customer service representative, which wasn't what I studied to be. So yeah.
Why if they could have done some things differently, what would you think they could have done to make you stay or to make you like the experience more, I guess?
Mm. Well, how do I say this without disclosing anything confidential? Um, Maybe they could have given me more room for growth in a way that how we handle the relationship, since we are relationship managers. It's like they gave us one type of solution for everyone, and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't work that way. So if they could give us different options or allow us to craft certain like strategies that would work for this type of online seller, then that would be much more preferable for not only us but also for the sellers who are actually the ones benefiting from this in the first place.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
basically to like personalize
Yeah.
relationship how to manage relationships with these sellers.
Yes.
Why were you
Yes.
not given like the ability to personalize or your own creative control more or less? No? Why?
We were
How?
very limited because I guess it comes with the branding of the platform.
Mm-hmm.
So mostly we were just given marketing packages, especially for the double sales. But aside from that, there's really not much we were given to like make it different for everyone else.
Okay. So like branching from that, now that you are currently unemployed.
Yes.
What are you looking for in a prospective company?
Like, what am I looking for in it? Okay, so one thing that I actually really liked about my previous company is that culture of open communication. It's
Mm-hmm.
something that very corporate settings don't have. Well, I mean, it was a corporate setting, but we were very young people. As in, I think the oldest person I know there is under 35.
So you're saying you
So
don't like old people.
not like that. Grabe. I mean,
So ano
parang
sinasabi mo? Like, buti mga young people, so the old,
I mean, because we get to relate to each other very easily as compared
Okay,
to
that
like,
makes sense.
yeah, just parang whenever I talk to my team lead, it's like just talking to a friend. Like I don't feel very intimidated as compared to if I were in a very corporate setting where the boss is like 50 or 40 years old. And ayun, I think the fact that everyone doesn't um think of each other as bosses is a good
Mm-hmm.
thing. So yeah, that's something I want in a prospective company, but I also want a company that has more of a direction in terms of vertical growth, because that past company we were all just okay, basically they were built for mass hiring. So they weren't giving the bigger opportunities to their existing employees. They tended to like outsource or get someone more experienced for the higher roles.
Is this a church?
What?
Because it's mass hiring? It was a harmless
So
joke. Anyways, you can proceed.
yes, it is the church.
It is a church.
Yes.
What do you mean by bosses? You put quotes in bosses. Like, what is a boss? And what makes them so, you know, unappealing?
Well, because bosses, it's like you associate that word with someone you are afraid of.
Voice.
Huh?
Voice?
You what? Yes.
Voice?
What voice?
Bosses?
Oh my god!
uh,
Hello, I
you,
said
you
something wrong.
associate it, you associate it with someone you.
You are like intimidated by.
Mm.
Or, I don't know, like for me, kasi pag boss, parang it's someone super high or like someone that ang hirap i-explain eh. Parang ang weird lang na
Parang mataas yung tingin niya sa sarili
like
niya,
calling
ganun.
people boss. Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Basically. So, ayun. I don't know.
Yeah, but don't you think na workplaces or organizations, companies need like a certain sense of intimidation, of quote unquote fear to like
Mm.
actually make the workers or the people, the employees efficient or actually do their job?
Well, honestly, I don't think fear is ever a good driving force for anything. But I guess yes, because, you know, if everyone is very lax, then the tendency is for people to just slack off. But
Mm.
then, same time, in that kind of culture, like the one I mentioned earlier, people should just know or be responsible for their own time in a sense that they know when is the right time to play and when is the right time for work. So I think that was the type of culture they were trying to cultivate in that company, is to know when or to have the right time for everything. And I think it pretty much works naman, personally. You know when something is urgent and you have to work on it right away, especially in a fast-paced company like e-commerce, because deadlines are always coming at you like for left and
Mm.
right. So
Was this the trajectory you saw for yourself, like when you graduated or when you were still studying? Like, did you see yourself, now this is what you would be doing a year from now, or like even before today? Like, did you see this coming? Did you expect this, or did you dream of this?
being unemployed.
No, no,
um,
no. Like the general trajectory of your career.
mm, well, back in college, I didn't really like picturing myself anywhere. I mean, I didn't have like a clear picture of where I wanted to be. I guess I just went with the flow of things because I didn't really like to stress on something and then end up disappointed when I don't achieve it. But like, I didn't think I'd be in this position right now. Thinking back like a year ago, I thought I'd be because before I graduated, I already got that job. So I was thinking maybe I would last a year there and then eventually like get more experience and grow in that field. But I guess that changed. Like my perspective on that changed, and through the different months, I mean, it really taught me that what you the first idea of what you want can always change, and you can never just confine yourself to that specific vision that you had for yourself.
What do you say? The first idea of what you want can never change.
And I mean it can
It
change.
can change.
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you want now? What are you like aiming for? What are you working towards?
Okay, so I'm working towards a career or like a path that would allow me to um like exercise or live out what I am passionate about.
Madali lang
Um,
mag-exercise. You just, you know,
Oo nga, may
um,
math naman ako dun.
tapos timer.
Dumbbells.
Easy, easy. So you don't have to
Yeah, that's
you
like
don't
the
have to work
meaning of
for it.
life itself.
You don't have to work for it. You just have to work out.
Exactly.
Oh,
I- My mindset right now, yoga yoga na lang ako ganun.
yoga, yoga bear. Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah, you were.
Oh, what was I saying?
That was gonna be my question.
Oh
What were
my
you
god.
saying? Uh, work. The path you wanted to work towards
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Was something I would be more passionate about, which is actually like I don't know, because ever since I liked seeing concepts grow, like something like a small idea that would then change or bring about a positive impact to different kinds of people.
In what way?
Is it raining? Wait lang, sorry. The audio will be
Is it raining? It's not raining here. It's fine. It's fine. I don't
here
hear
it
the rain.
is.
Now, what form would that be?
Okay. Well, right now, my interview yesterday was actually for a community engagement position in a mobile phone company, and they're looking for people who can help like introduce their products to their target market and like gain make them gain awareness for their products. So I think in a way it's in line with what I'm trying to achieve because um it's in that community where their vision for their company will grow because it all starts with the customer anyway. And yeah, I mean, that new product or whatever new concept they're introducing, I want to be able to play a key like role in getting that message to other people.
Hmm. Do you still want to make your own business? Are you still eyeing to make your own business?
I am. That is definitely like the end goal,
The end goal.
the end game.
So, what
Yes.
would that business look like?
Before I wanted to make a makeup company because I was in a phase where I was really into cosmetics. But then I realized that I think it would like it's very saturated, the makeup industry, especially here in the Philippines, actually everywhere. And the capital needed for that is very much high. And you're gonna need a lot of research. And I don't think I'm really um qualified for that. Like I don't have any background on chemistry or whatever. So maybe that's still like a dream business, but I'm kind of putting it on the sidelines for now. But I really want to have my own active wear line. So
Speaking
like
of
sports
makeup,
leg.
yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of makeup, maraming drama sa makeup industry, ah.
I
Always,
know
all the time.
I don't even know why. Like honestly, they thrive off the drama. It's Jeffree Star, James Charles, and Tati. Like Tati is freaking almost 40 years old. What is she doing? She's crying over vitamins.
It's
Oh my
crazy.
god.
Are you updated yung latest developments?
Well, I try to avoid it because it pisses me off. But then I did see ano kasi si Shane Dawson. Like he was, did you see he was like, si ano yun?
Live
Um,
reacting.
of Jaden Smith.
Hmm. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, because he had a video where he was like probably like jacking off to Willow Smith's picture on a wall. Tapos nakita nung mom ni na Willow. So she called him out on Twitter. So he didn't even respond to it, but he responded to Tati's video. Because sobrang, I don't understand. Like, everything's so manipulative. Like, everything they're saying, parang you don't really know what's true anymore with that beauty community.
What's your perspective on yun nga, like celebrities or people in general, like being cancelled for like, I know yung video ni Shane na yun. the very inappropriate video, I think we can all agree, was
Mm-hmm.
like a handful of years ago. Like more than 5 years ago, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, but now he got flack for it then, I think, and now he apologized, and then now he's getting flack for it again. What do
Mm.
you think of, is the flack justified?
Um, I think he got flack for everything all the racist things he was saying years ago, because he would like make videos like skits with parang ano yun, like stereotypes. So there's Mexican people, there's Asian people, there's black people, like the blackface thing. So I mean, he's apologized for it so many times already. Like, siguro, how many apology videos could he possibly make? I mean, ang tagal na rin. Like, I don't know what else he could do except apologize, because I mean, he can't take anything back. I mean, I know those videos are demonetized already. I mean, I think he is demonetized. Silang tatlo. But I don't like how people just keep bringing up past mistakes. Like, si Jana Marbles, like she also had, I think she quit YouTube recently because of all of the people canceling her for all of the racist things she said years ago. And PewDiePie actually posted something about that. Like, he said all of the headlines are so misleading, because the headlines would say Jana Marbles quits YouTube over racist comments or something. It's like those racist comments parang ngayon lang nangyari, but in reality, she said those almost 10 years ago when YouTube first started out. So it's just weird and unhealthy how people keep canceling other people just because of mistakes that they already know are wrong. But it's just like they just keep resurfacing, and I don't think like it's justified if I'm.
Mhm. But I think, yeah. Although I generally agree, I think if I were Jaden, or if I were the mom, although I can't really have a mom's perspective on anything since I'm a guy. But if I were Jaden, and if I were to find like a video of that surfacing around, like regarding like someone very close to me, like a relative, and it's the first time I'm hearing this, of course I'll be outraged. Like, of course I
Mm-hmm.
will. I think it's natural. I think I'm I have a heart of stone if I don't be outraged by it. So I think the outrage in that regard is justified. But
Yeah.
to what extent? Like, I saw this in PewDiePie's one of PewDiePie's videos reacting to Jubilee, or as he says it,
Uh.
Jubilee or something like that. Um, Regarding cancel culture, it was the height of when James Charles was still being canceled.
Yeah.
Regarding cancel culture, like there was this one guy who asks everyone in the room, like, have you ever lied before? Have you ever lied before? And then they all say, yeah, of course you've lied. We're humans. And then he says, like, so coming into this, aren't we all liars? Are you a liar? So, and yeah, like, if you have a wound on the hand, like a small wound in the hand, the answer is not to cut your entire arm off. So
Yeah.
that was the analogy to like cancel culture. Although I guess sometimes it is used for good, but all I see now is just blind mobs just
I
rampaging across
know.
social media.
I know. All of the insert name here is over party hashtags. It's like
Good thing I was never a party person.
same. Oh my god.
Party rock is in the house
Like,
tonight.
throwback from 10 years ago. 10
Diba?
years ago? Yeah.
Yeah, so or something like that, like a decade ago. 2010 ba yun? 2010 ba yun?
I think so.
Insane. Oy. So in making like a business and making your own
Mm.
business, it seems to me your path was like, okay, I'm gonna enter these corporations, these companies, garner income, get some
Yeah.
capital for that business, and then create it later on down the line. Am I not correct? Am I mistaken?
Yes, that
That's
is
generally it.
correct. Yes.
But my one of my profs said na actually the best path is to not work for a big company, but work for a small one. Work for uh, an upstarting company. What do you call companies that just start? Startups.
Startups. You said
Upstart.
upstart.
Oh my goodness. Miriam and Webster, hire me or fire me.
Yes. Oh my
Um,
god.
but work for a startup company so you know how a business is handled, how a business is created from the ground up, how you start, and how everything flows from there. What do you think of that?
I mean, I really agree with that. The best way to immerse yourself or to learn anything for your own business is to immerse yourself in someone else's just starting out business. But personally, um I don't think I've encountered any job openings regarding with like in line with the industry that I want to um penetrate. Which is the activewear clothing like sector. I don't know what you call it, but basically workout clothes.
Mm.
Um, I had experience in, how do I say this? Well, it's not very hindi siya startup but I did intern for like a smaller company compared to the other bigger
Are you
platforms.
not allowed to mention these companies?
I don't, but I might get, ano.
Caught. Okay,
Yeah,
sige. Respected.
yeah. So, let's just say it's a pink company that delivers food. Sinabi na rin.
Who was that? I did not hear
Who
that.
cares? Who cares? And anyway. Parang, honestly, kasi my experience there, okay, in startup culture, I think there will always be a lot of internal problems because everyone's still trying to figure everything out. And my experience in the company I was mentioning earlier,
Mm-hmm.
they had problems with um payroll. Like I think I'm not sure what the exact details are, but pay was always um parang it was always lacking or there was something missing in their monthly pay. So I think that's one of the main reasons why people are or why people get discouraged to work in startups. It's because compensation is never really up to par with working for a bigger company where you would get a more stable income with a lot more benefits, which is something that people go for. People work in banks because they have good benefits. People work for this medical company because they have medical benefits that would benefit not only them but also a lot of their other family members. So, but then that doesn't change the fact that the experience you get from smaller companies would really help you in creating your own business.
If you were to choose one, like let's say there are two companies out there for
Yeah.
you. If you were to choose one, what would you choose? The one with better income and more benefits, or the one with higher capability to grow, like higher growth potential for the employee? What would you choose?
Just considering those two
Yeah,
factors.
considering those two factors, everything else is equal. For example,
So I would still be like the culture is still good in both and stuff.
yeah,
Is the location
everything
malapit?
else is equal. Yeah, everything else is equal.
Okay. I would probably choose the one with the bigger opportunity to learn because I mean considering yeah, the end, since I mentioned the end goal is to have my own company, I would have, more experience and would be more knowledgeable in building a business from the ground up, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
So, but then in reality, there are so many more different factors that you have to take into consideration. Like, sometimes the culture of the company is a deal breaker for me because if you're gonna subject yourself to working for this company, but then the people are problematic,
Mm-hmm.
then it won't be worth it, honestly.
So what's the most important factor if you were to pinpoint one?
Hmm. I think really the culture is the most important factor because like everything stems from there. Like, how do I say this? If your company is very closed off or not transparent, then that would translate into how they conduct their business and how you deal with other people in the company. Like, parang I can't explain it. um okay, I think on another like facet of that, like the culture, is how other people treat other people in the company. Like if they are very friendly or if everyone's super strict. Because I know some of my friends who like my age who are working in the super corporate companies who are very
Super
strict. Example,
corporate.
yeah, like super corporate, like the big corporations. Like I won't say any company names, but then
Okay.
the people there are very much older than they are. So we're like 30s. Basta the more like
Here you go
older.
again with being ageist.
Shut up. Hindi, basta, alam mo yun, like, hindi sila millennials na, like, very chill lang with working. Like, they are super duper strict for, like, example, lunch should be, like, strictly an hour. Like, my friend would experience being, like, pipicturean nila yung friend ko kapag late siya pumasok. It was that type of
Really?
toxicity in the workplace. Like, lagi silang nagsusumbong, which is, like, you're grown ass adults. Why do you have to do that? So there.
Yeah. So now that you mentioned like what you're working towards, what you're doing now, what for you is generally is the meaning of life? Like you're living life right now. Like we're
Yeah.
all living our lives right now. If we're
Mm-hmm.
not living our lives, we'd be dead, and that would be very unfortunate.
Quite literally.
Quite
Yeah.
literally, more than quite, absolutely literally, we'd be dead.
Yeah.
So, what is the meaning of life for you?
The meaning of life for me really changes because um it changes as you go through the different phases that you encounter through life in general. Like a lot of us had that like cynical phase wherein you think that why am I like life? What is life like? Why am I here? I wasn't like I didn't ask to be born. Like there's no meaning to this anyway. Again, yeah. But then when you get past that
I'd
stage,
be very wary if anyone asked to be born. Like, whoa, how'd you
I
do that?
know that would be a very like a
But what
plot
is
for
being born though? Like, is there a stash of souls? And whenever a new person is born, like one person from that cachet of souls just comes
like a
down to
gumball
earth
machine.
like a
I can
gumball
imagine it.
machine, but it's sperm.
Yes.
Like, is it spiritual? Is personality spiritual? Is it just like a result of what is it?
That's something I've never thought about.
Right?
Yeah, it
Right.
is. I don't think. Maybe you develop it through. Maybe it's a blank slate
Mm.
instead of flash. And then with that blank slate, you write your own story.
So
What?
who writes it?
Who has the pen? I don't know.
No,
You,
according to you, you write the story. So how
you
can we
write
write
your
it?
own. You
How
write
can we
your own
write it?
story.
Yeah, how can we write it if there's no gumball to roll down? Like, where do we come from?
Oh, what?
Right? Where do we come from? Where is it just
I have. I don't know.
do we just spring up? Does this consciousness
It's the
just spark?
miss. It's some mystery.
Quite the mystery.
Yeah.
The universal gumball machine with metaphysical gumballs.
Yes, that is an art idea. I might draw that.
The universal gumball machine. Come on, you can do it.
Yes. I will. I will. Soon.
Yun na yung bagong pangalan ng podcast na to, the universal gumball machine.
Gumball. Yeah.
Maybe. Anyway, you were talking about phases and being cynical and asking to be born.
Yeah. So, okay, for me, when I got past that phase, it's like, how do I say this? Okay, let me just like dive into something that I've been trying to get into recently, which is the Stoic philosophy or Stoicism. Um, Basically, it is the main like point of it, or it's anchoring on being aware or being present in the being present in the present, being in the present moment.
I would be quite concerned if you were not present in the present day. Time traveler.
Secretly, I am. But yeah, okay, how do I say this? The meaning of life is something that is different for everyone. Um, like what I said before.
Like
I
gumballs.
yes, I read this book called "Man's Search for Meaning" by Viktor Frankl. He said there, like one of the things that struck me the most in that book was the fact that the meaning of life is basically not a big not one big secret that will eventually be revealed to you in some point in your lifetime, because yun nga, it's not a one size fits all solution, and it's unique for every person on their personality or their goals. And for me, I think rather than finding the meaning to life, we should be giving meaning to our own lives, like however um that would be to you, like doing something that would make an impact, however big or small it may be.
So what is that to you? Simply put, you said it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
So what is it that for you?
Well, for me, it is always just staying present and finding stillness within myself. And at the same time, working and moving with intention, as a yogi would say, to achieve something that is bigger than myself.
Isn't Yogi like the bear?
Yes, I think he does yoga secretly. That's why
Mm-hmm.
yogi.
I think that's why he's so flexible. It's because he does yoga.
Oh,
Pwede.
so
What
our
does
gummy yogi bears.
what does moving with intention really mean? Like, don't we all move with intention? Don't we all move with intention? Like, if I don't have
Yeah, I
intention,
get it. Well, because
like,
moving, we underestimate the power of what the hell. I sound like a freaking hippie. But then, because I've been doing yoga a lot nga, and like one of the ideas in practicing yoga is like moving with an intention that you set in the beginning of your practice. So a lot of classes in the like before you actually start doing some poses and stuff, they would ask you to set an intention or something that you want to work towards. And moving with intention is basically just being mindful of everything that you're doing and making sure it's bringing you closer to that intention that or whatever goal that you want to achieve. And more than just yoga, it's something that can be practiced with anything really, like in life, like with your career, with whatever you want to like attain in this number of time. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I have to practice on moving with intention. How many times have I blundered wonderlessly into a room forgetting what I was supposed to do? That
I
always
know,
happens.
same. It's a glitch in the
Always.
matrix.
I think it's a glitch in the mind. It's a glitch in the gumball
Mind.
machine. Is
The mind is the matrix.
the
A
mind is
brain
the
fart.
gumball.
Yeah, I'll just pull out a gumball from my ear.
Kaya yung cartoon, di ba? Yung Adventures of Gumball. Very profound.
Was born from a machine.
That's why we must rage against it.
Oh my god.
Yung nag-rage yung Rage Against the Machine, it's against the Gumball Machine, the universal Gumball Machine. That's what we're
Yes.
fighting. That is the enemy, the final boss.
Yeah. God said Adam and Eve, not Florence and the machine.
So, you know what? Before he made light, he made the Gumball Machine. It just wasn't stated in the
Yes.
Bible because the prophets are too feeble-minded to comprehend.
Yes.
Speaking of prophets, though, do you believe in like some higher being? Do you?
I do.
Kind.
Well, I am a Christian, a Catholic, but like
Kala ko sabihin mo you are a cursed. What?
cursed child.
The worst book ever.
First book.
Is the
I
worst
haven't
book
even
I've
read
ever
it.
read. Don't subject yourself to
Yikes.
torture. Don't be a
I
masochist.
won't. I mean, synopsis itself, ayoko na eh.
So bad. Anyway,
Okay.
you're talking about a higher being.
Yeah. So, honestly, I'm not, well, I am a Catholic, but I'm not a super duper religious Catholic. Like, I don't read the Bible every day. I don't pray the rosary every day, which is probably my high school would get mad at me because we pray the rosary every freaking day, and the rosary was part of our uniform.
What?
Apparently. Yeah, like they made us bring it every day. It's supposed to be in our pockets every single day. If it's not there, and then you incur a number of days where you don't have a rosary, they'll give you a yellow reminder slip. So medyo yikes. But
Okay,
that's
we
all girls
CSA.
Catholic school.
CSA is a Catholic school. I came from CSA. We were never required to recite the rosary every day. Siguro pag October lang, kapag
Yeah.
yung
Yeah.
sa inyo all year round.
All year round. It started siguro high school ako. Kasi before it was just like an October thing. But then they pushed for it. So like what we would do is like recite the like yung ano yun yung sa cross. Hala, hindi ka na alam. The Apostles' Creed.
Okay.
Tama ba? Oh my God. Basta
Yes.
the three beads in the morning. And then the mysteries would be divided all throughout our subject. So it wasn't like a isang bagsakan na rosary every morning. But then I found it weird because bakit pilit na pilit? Like, it took up so much time. I mean, it's prayer, but gets parang a bit much.
Yeah. Why? You're against prayer? You
I
evil,
am not.
accursed
Excuse me.
child.
I am not against it. But I don't believe in it being a requirement to be a good person.
Why? What is the requirement to be a good person?
Are there requirements to be? Well, you have to be. Your intention is supposed to be good first and foremost.
Moving with good intentions.
Yes. Well, because I know so many super Christian people who post all these Bible quotes on Facebook or like preach about. Sister ko, sorry. like
Fine.
preach about how God is so good, ganyan, ganyan. We have to be God-like or fear God, ganyan. But then they're also the same people who are actually very problematic or did some things that are not quite good. So
You said if you do things with good intention, but is intention enough?
it's not, I mean, you could act with a good intention, but then, for example, a thief would act with the intention to steal money because he wants to feed his family. But then the act of stealing is never good. Like, ano ba yan? Like, remember the things sa Green Hills before? How people were like, parang justifying the act of holding these people hostage and like endangering their safety because of like the corporate problem they had. Like, I never agreed with that.
Yeah, that's just insane to me. I think uh people were justifying his actions because his message was correct, which
Yeah.
yeah, I'll give him that. The message was correct. Like capitalism or big corporations really abuse or exploit their employees to the point to maximize profit, right? But you held people hostage. You
Yeah, I mean,
you terrorized their lives. Some people could be traumatized because of that hostage taking, the danger it put on people, um, the practicality aspect of it beyond yun nga, yung affects sa mental health, even endangering the lives of others. It doesn't mean that you have a good message that what you did was still correct. But I think it
yeah, it
depends
doesn't
on the
justify
degree of what
it.
you did.
Mm.
Like for me, if a person, if let's say a beggar steals 100 pesos from a passing rich guy, or like a rich guy who dropped it, let's say, if he or she steals that, I think that's okay. I don't think he should be jailed for it. Like
Yeah,
honestly, I
yeah.
don't think he should be jailed for it. But if the person murdered the guy to get the money, that's a different story, even though the intention is still the same.
Yeah, so maybe like beyond that intention, the way you act and what you actually do is what defines if you are a good person.
Do you think you're a good person?
I mean, I hope I am. I don't think I'm doing anything remotely endangering anyone right now.
That's what you think.
I mean, I go out with masks, unlike some people in the US who think it's a freaking political statement to wear a damn mask.
Oh, yeah, it's a crazy box of lobsters. The United States is a crazy
It
box.
is
It's beyond Gumball
bonkers.
Machine.
Yeah, indeed.
Beyond. But like, yeah. Um, how do we pass as good people or bad people? Like, for instance, we could come across someone who's a great big jerk, very rude,
Mm-hmm.
very um arrogant or something like that. But does the intentions or does his or her intention do his or her intentions justify action at all? I mean, I think it's a case to case basis, right? Um,
Mm-hmm.
with that. So, in being a good person, is being a good person a case to case basis of your circumstance also? Like, is there anything that begets to be a good person? Like, people always say, di ba, ngayon, if you are
My nose
silent,
is
you
itchy
are
so.
siding, huh?
My nose is so
Oh, it's fine.
itchy.
Oh, aching na
Go
yan.
lang.
Pero
Okay.
yun, like, now more than ever, like, people are saying when you're silent or you're neutral, you're siding with the oppressor because the political landscape here in the Philippines is crazy.
It's fucked up.
Do you think that's justified at all? Like, is neutrality siding with the oppressor?
I
What do you
don't
think?
think this. I may be cancelled for this, and I don't care. I mean, cancel culture and everything. But I never understood why people always associated neutrality with siding with the oppressor because it is just being neutral. Like, that's it. It doesn't mean, like, for me, when I don't post when I don't post this art as Instagram story, like anti-terror or whatever, it doesn't mean that I'm actually siding with like the Duterte administration regarding that. Or for example, also with the Black Lives Matter thing, whenever people like there was this post that said if you're not posting, then that means you're racist or something. It was like I was really mind fucked with it because when was that ever a thing? Like being neutral is never like a duality thing with being again or be with being on the side of the oppressor. It's like um just staying silent or not posting anything online doesn't mean that I'm actually agreeing with the anti side. And it's like there are so many other things that you can do aside from posting that would actually benefit the people affected in any situation, rather than just blindly reposting things without even actually understanding the whole issue or educating yourself. It's like you are just trying to jump onto this bandwagon in a way, and taking concrete action is a better way to actually help the people involved.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think the general misconception here is that there is a duality. I feel like people overlook that sense when making political stands and statements. There is no one or the other side, even though there may be a yes or no decision, agree or
Yeah.
not agree on this. There's more than two sides to every story. There's more than just DDS or Dilawan. There's everything else in the middle, all colors in the middle of yellow and red that are existent, and people most of the time just forget about those because they result in tribalism and canceling one or the other. Bobo yung mga
Yeah.
DDS, wala silang kwenta. Ang mga elitista yung
Yeah.
mga Dilawan, wala silang kwenta. So now we have this divide in the middle where everyone else is like flocking to the extreme sides just to even out the seesaw. And it's crazy because this side is insane, this side is insane, this is the sane one, but no one's going here because when you go
Yeah.
there, once
Exactly.
it just tips over, right? If one side goes to the middle, the seesaw just tips over to the other and you can't go back. So it's crazy to me that we support, or the system now, like either the political system or the governance system, supports this idiotic way of deciding
Yeah.
things, of grouping
Yeah.
ourselves. Yeah.
It's
Um.
crazy. I mean, I think people should really take time before they form their opinions on anything, because I mean, there's so many parts to a story that we don't know, and there's a lot of things that we aren't actually that even qualified to speak about. But then we believe all of these other people, like we just take them because it's there. So we don't really think critically about it. Like everything on Twitter, honestly, Twitter is so toxic, and I
Uh.
hate seeing
Terrible.
my line. So yeah.
So before we end, Ange, just want to ask you: is there one last thing you want to say? One last key point? Anything you want to plug? Anything?
Plug.
Parang
Well,
yun
what
lang
I
yung word na narinig mo.
plug. And then nag-iisip ako, paano ba ipa-plug ko? Key point? I don't know, man. I don't think I have anything else. Oh, if ever, can I plug a business?
Sure, go.
So if ever you are craving for K barbecue and you don't want to go out, we have a K barbecue at home business that's called Fam Dup Salamat, and I didn't come up with the name, so please don't judge it. But yeah, you can just search it on Facebook or Instagram, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. So thanks, Ange. Thanks, Ange, for that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful first episode of the podcast. Glad you
First,
were on board. Yeah.
thank you for having me.
Thank you, and take care, dude.